Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Band of Brothers series. In fact, not just another reaction, the finale reaction. This is episode 10 and it is called Points. Last episode certainly lived up to the title of Why We Fight, because it was just a horrific thing to have to sit through. Right up there for me with episode 4 of Chernobyl, in just grim television that is both excellent but also a rough thing to have to sit and watch. In fact, the only storyline I can really get from it, other than the concentration camp, was the fact that Office Space was developing a drinking problem, had started just breaking into random German homes looking for the whiskey he liked and smashing shop windows and shit. We certainly saw an apathetic side to him, which you can only really chalk up to him seeing the humanity on both sides and just thinking like, what's all this shit for? Fuck this, I'm having a drink. And I think that they illustrated that point further by the interviews they chose to show at the start of the episode, because the soldiers themselves were saying they soon realised that the enemy on the other side were just other human beings following instructions from governments. But yeah, the bulk of the episode was when we arrived at the concentration camp, and oh my god, it was done so well, from the effects to the actors they chose to play the parts of the people in the camp, to the dead bodies strewn about everywhere. Just fucked up shit to see. And of course I knew that happened. It wasn't like a shock, it was a shock they were going to include one in the show, but I'm very well aware of what the fuck went down in the concentration camp, so the fact that you know 100% what they did, and still every time you see it just feeling the same level of like, Jesus Christ, fucking don't show me anymore, just shows how powerful it truly is to this day, and especially when a show of this quality of filming and writing sheds light on it. It just really drives the point home and certainly illustrates why they fight. But yeah, I'm really interested to see how they wrap up this show, so let's get into it. This is the finale, episode 10, Points. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. Ah, the jellyfish. Simpler times, simpler times. Also, I've heard that Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks are actually making the, sequel to this right now, which is going to focus on the Air Forces. So there'll be Band of Brothers for the ground forces, there'll be the Pacific for the sea forces, and soon their new show will cover the Air Forces. They'll have all three facets of this war covered soon. Probably something I will be reacting to in the future, along with the Pacific at some point. Austria. Now we're getting to the root of the problem. I'd love it if we just panned down to an art school.
I certainly didn't expect to find myself at a place like this.
That's quite a nice place to end up, to be fair. Look, there's ducks and everything.
Thought I'd check it out.
Come to join me for a morning swim?
Office Space is still looking pretty dishevelled. I'm assuming he hasn't fully conquered his drinking problem yet. Pair of fresh-faced guys who had no idea what they were getting themselves into.
What do you think you'll do after this?
I get some breakfast.
I don't think that's what he meant.
Discuss the possibility of staying.
That doesn't surprise me. Dick seems like the type of guy who would be a career military man, not just a sort of person who would quit after the war kind of thing. Plus, he's got all the stuff in his resume to merit going up the ladder in the military.
What do you think about New Jersey? New Jersey?
It's nice, just stay away from the shore and spray tan, you'll be fine. I recommend the Bada Bing strip club. Yes, my entire opinion on Jersey is based on 2 TV shows, go fuck yourself.
Are you offering me a job?
I think probably scrape something up commensurate with your current salary level.
That would be cool. I'd love to see Dick go and work with Office Space after the war. I don't know where they filmed this scene as well, but it is one hell of a beautiful location.
The war wasn't even over. I was still getting used to hot showers and morning swims.
This is such a strangely peaceful intro scene to what has been pretty much a horrendously brutal show to watch.
This famous town high in the Alps was the Nazi Party's symbolic home, and all the heads of the Third Reich had houses there.
Oh, I did not know that.
A guerrilla resistance against the Allied advance. The first step was blocking the roads.
Huh. It's an incredibly petty strategy by Hitler, but that being said, that road looks difficult to get round. And the Alps in general must just be a tough place to have to wage any sort of war in.
We're not sure what's up there. The colonel doesn't want us taking any unnecessary risks.
So the French are gonna beat us to the Eagle's Nest?
Yeah, you can't let the French beat you. Goddamn French. I know they're actually completing an objective here, but it must be so fun just shooting a rocket launcher into a cluster of grenades.
One easy company in the lead. Have the men assembled down on the Autobahn.
Yes, sir.
Oh, they pretty much did clear it as well. That was good work. I was expecting it to take way more time. I'm assuming they shortened the legitimate time that would have took. White flags. I didn't realise they were still in France.
This is the one town you can't deny being a true Nazi.
What do you mean?
Well, you have to be to live here.
Oh shit, so you actually had to be a confirmed Nazi to live in this place. Is this just due to the historical significance of it being like where Hitler's from kind of thing? He moved all his soldiers up there. So strange to even see them peacefully walk into a place like this.
No.
I'm assuming that will be a list of all the residents or people that have visited there.
Wow.
A completely terrifying sight to the occupants of this town. Understandable.
I can't carry all this. You know, whoever comes in here after us is going to take whatever isn't nailed down.
I'm assuming the real stuff from buildings like this is now worth an absolute fortune. Unfortunately, you get tarred with a horrible racist brush nowadays if that's your thing. Like, if I met a guy and I was like, so what do you do, man? And he was like, oh, I just, collect Nazi memorabilia. I would be like, okay, you're a fucking racist then, aren't you? I'm not saying everyone who does is, but that's just the stigma.
Seal off the north side and prepare for prisoners.
Sergeant Grant?
And Harry? Nobody gets hurt, not now.
Yeah, I see Dick's point. At this point, anyone they come across who's hostile, they could probably take in for questioning and, just capture them, rather than continue to just shoot on sight. That part of the war is done now.
Built with Nazi party money. A mountaintop stone retreat, 8,000 feet up, accessible by a gold-plated elevator.
Oh my god, I didn't even know this place existed. That is an absolutely dope thing. I mean, I'm not pro-Hitler in the slightest, but a gold-plated elevator to a mountaintop mansion. That is amazing. Does that still stand in Austria? I'm guessing all the SS guys left are now just taking their own lives. They've heard Hitler's dead, the Americans are now at their stronghold. What's left for them to do?
God damn it, listen. Hitler, no.
I legit wouldn't want to leave this place if I was a soldier. I would be like, can't we claim this? This is amazing.
From Corps, just came in, effective immediately. All troops stand fast on present positions.
Best news ever for these guys. Don't move from your Alp top mansion with the gold-plated elevator. You do as I say. I was just about to say the war's starting to look a bit fun now, but yeah, they went through 8 episodes of absolute hell to get to this point. Is he gonna take him to like a secret alcohol supply? Don't fuel his drinking habits, bro.
10,000 bottles of the world's finest liquor, wine, and champagne.
I knew it. Office Space is gonna die in this fucking room.
No one wanted to leave Berchtesgaden. Until they saw Austria.
Is this whole episode gonna be like this? This is absolutely majestic. I feel like I've earned this after the concentration camp episode. Thank you, Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. I feel like Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks have just shown me into the secret Nazi alcohol cabinets. Calling them secret Nazi alcohol cabinets is doing that room an incredible disservice, I'm aware of that. I don't know what you'd call it. Wine cellar? Booze room? Man, this episode is making me want to go to Austria and the Alps right now. Please tell me the whole episode's this happy. I haven't watched a single episode with a big smile on my face yet. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Every location so far has just been beautiful.
We'll be comfortable here.
This one soldier outside digging a foxhole who's become used to his ways. Keep your mansion, I like making my tea in my own helmet.
Please accept this as my formal surrender, Major. It is better than to lay it on the desk of a clerk.
He's surrendering with a little bit of dignity. Yeah, a soldier's a soldier. And now that the war's past, obviously, they're returning to normalcy. They'll be able to see the humanity on both sides even clearer.
And our casualties are high, but Okinawa is the next big step towards victory over Japan.
Yeah, we never saw any of the war on the Japanese front during this series. We all know how it ended, obviously. I didn't want to see that shit. Absolutely tragic. Yes, it did stop Japan from fighting, but to bomb a city full of civilians? Eesh. To bomb two? Jesus.
Daily close order drills, that means troop reviews, but above all, it means physical training. Get your NCOs on it.
Even with the enemy surrendering, Dick is cutting no slack because they've been talking about these guerrilla attacks from SS officers. We haven't seen any of that yet. There could be still a bunch of these guys lurking somewhere planning some shit. Now that is a good meal.
Oh, God damn it, Shifty.
Do you think he did that on purpose? Do you think he's just sick of killing things at this point?
No Purple Hearts, never was injured.
He seems disappointed about that now.
Many veterans, including Normandy veterans, still do not have the 85 points required to be discharged.
Hey, Dexter Fletcher made it to the end. Good to see you.
The 101st Airborne Division will definitely be redeployed to the Pacific.
Shit, so here's a question. Are some of these actors also in the Pacific reprising their roles? That would be cool.
Don't mean to interrupt you, sir. I just wanted to, say goodbye.
I can't get over the scenery in this episode. I do not know where they filmed this, but holy shit, book me a one-way ticket tonight.
I just don't rightly know how I'm going to explain all this.
The horrors of war must be difficult to talk to anybody in the normal world about.
There's nothing more to explain.
Thank you, sir.
Or does he mean explain why he was allowed to leave? Surely you don't have to explain yourself to anyone.
Unfortunately, the truck was hit head-on by a drunken corporal from another regiment. Shifty had a broken pelvis.
Talk about bad luck. If it ain't the enemy shooting at you, it's your own drunk generals smashing into your cars.
13th Airborne are heading out for the Pacific right away.
So is Dick in the Pacific? That would be awesome if some of these characters are also in the Pacific. I'm attached to these guys now.
You're leaving the men?
They don't need me anymore.
I'd agree with that. Dick's done a great job throughout this series, and he's certainly left his unit in a good place. Oh great, just when I thought we got a real peaceful episode, we're getting flashbacks. I forgot about that scene. Dick's seen some brutal shit. It's like this is the first time Dick's getting an opportunity to reflect on all the shit he's been through, and it seems to be actually like hitting him, like all the stuff he's seen. That episode was just insane, with all the explosions and the trees and the snow.
If they do go to the Pacific eventually, you should be running one of the battalions.
Was that guy doing that as a favour to him so he didn't have to go through any more war, I guess? Hey people, just a quick interruption to say, fuck shit ass bitch cunt. You know why? Because YouTube are probably going to demonetize this video anyway because I'm just being myself. But they don't want human beings nowadays, they want robots that don't use mean sweary words because corporations don't like mean sweary words. Well, you know what we can do to combat that? You can sign up to my Patreon so that I'm being supported by you guys whether YouTube demonetizes me or not, and I will continue to bring you this content unfiltered, realistic, and not on some fake shit like all these other people are having to do just to abide by these new strict guidelines that YouTube has. Join the gang. Sorry for the interruption. Back to the show. Well, whoever lives in this house is in some deep shit.
You think he's a soldier like you and me? Fucking innocent German officer?
Can see both sides of this, but if they're just about to execute some innocent guy, I don't want to see this shit. If their intel is wrong, this is just some random innocent person. It's hard to know how to take that scene, because obviously he needs to interrogate him somewhat, but if that guy is just a farmer, this is fucking horrible.
He's guilty.
Oh, okay.
Shoot him!
No.
Oh man, that's an incredibly inhumane way to deal with it. People would want this guy captured for questioning if he was guilty, not just executed like that.
Summer in this Alpine paradise should have been a welcome relief, especially now that we were at peace with the Germans.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, Dick. Apparently not.
Italy would be second for me. Russia is not desirable.
This is crazy to see ex-Nazi officers now working alongside the Americans.
Don't salute the Germans.
Oh, come on. I sort of get a kick out of it. Anyway, I got me a new enemy. The Japs.
Instantly his focus has shifted to the Japanese. Oh shit! This episode is creating some strange non-war drama right now.
He was dead when they brought him in.
Tom Hardy dead just like that.
Somehow men were still dying. Young men who wanted to be home with their families by now.
That's just sloppy. You know, not keeping the barrels attached at the back of the vehicle. Who'd have thought out of all the ways to die in this show, someone would have a final destination to death? What is this?
You okay, Matt? You need some help?
Has this guy just executed a German soldier?
Krauts.
Ah, that's fucked up.
This fucking limey wouldn't listen.
He shot a British soldier as well. What the fuck? This guy is unhinged.
Hold on a second now, right?
What the fuck? What the fuck has got into this asshole?
You find the shooter, I want him alive. Come on, help me.
What are you doing?
We're gonna go find a brain surgeon.
Oh man, that's rough to see.
Should we shoot this bastard on sight? Try and take him alive.
I never thought this episode would turn into a bunch of allies going after a rogue soldier, just killing people on every side.
Get in the Jeep.
Where are we going?
To the hospital. Get in.
That's cool, they've actually tracked down a brain surgeon to try and save this guy.
Is him?
Yeah, this guy's got a deserved ass kicking for what he's done.
When you talk to an officer, you say sir.
I still would like an explanation for why he did what he did. It's one thing I'm shooting a German guy, but then the fact he shot a British and American soldiers after it completely defies any explanation at that point. He's just a psycho. There's no death fitting for a person like this. If I was them, I would keep him alive.
So you've decided to stay in the army?
Yes, I'm gonna stay with the men.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
I'm not sure who that guy with a hat is. Is he the one that used to tell the stories about offering people cigarettes? I'm not sure if it's the same guy.
I won't let you down, sir.
That's cool. Gave him a proper handshake. And Malarkey will do a good job no matter where he gets sent.
The choice as to where to reassign you, and I thought battalion headquarters might be a good place.
As long as these guys like their reassignments, they've definitely earned the right to go someplace that will make them happy. They've been through so much shit.
With your permission, I would like to address my men briefly.
That'll be fine, General.
You know what, even though they were a horrible enemy when active, I really do like the sort of mutual respect they're showing to the surrendered officers of the SS just now.
We salute the rank, not the man.
That is so satisfying. You can tell he did that through gritted teeth.
Ihr habt tapfer und stolz für euer Vaterland gekämpft.
You fought bravely.
They are the same on both sides. All these guys are just proud people who didn't want to let their country down. Obviously their dictator was a warped maniac, and a lot of these SS guys will be of the same ilk, but the actual soldiers, man, they're just doing what they're told.
Gemeinsam gelitten haben.
We've seen death and suffered together.
But this essentially could be the same speech an American general would give to his troops.
Take a look at these two kids. What the hell happened to them?
Have you ever seen photos of the young soldiers after they've been to war and then came back and they look like they've aged like 20 years? It's crazy what war can do to the aging process. Hey, nice. At least he's having a bit of fun. He hasn't looked himself these last few episodes.
Compton came back to see the company to let us know that he was all right. He became a prosecutor in Los Angeles.
No way. Good to see Peroxide again. I actually thought he had died, but he must have just been wounded.
He went out on the ocean alone and was never seen again.
What? Fucking hell, that's a horrible end. Hopefully he wasn't eaten by a shark.
As a testament to his character, 1,600 people attended his funeral.
No way, that is a super respected guy.
Frank Bracani returned to Chicago and worked a postal route as a mailman.
It's so weird after all they've been through to hear that they've just went back to really normal low-paid jobs. Like, all these guys deserve to be millionaires, really.
Alton Moore returned to Wyoming with a unique souvenir. Hitler's personal photo albums.
I bet those photo albums are worth a shitload.
Carwood Lipton became a glass-making executive in charge of factories all over the world. He has a nice life in North Carolina.
Nice, he'll actually be one of the wealthy ones then.
For Easy Company, it was D-Day plus 434.
Fast man would have had it, Perko.
Man, that is a long time to be in conflict. And again, to the end of this episode, the cinematography is just beautiful.
Each would have to rejoin the world as best he could.
And I'm just trying to put myself in the shoes of someone that's been through all that and then just one day waking back up in your own country and having to get a job and go back to normal life. It would be absolutely surreal.
He spent the rest of his life with her, traveling the world. My friend Lou died in 1995.
Oh, that's cool though. He finally had a good marriage and settled down.
Feeling it's a very unusual happening, and it's a very unusual bonding.
And now I'm looking at the names for the first time, so this is the real Dick Winters, no way.
So brave is unbelievable, and I don't know anybody that I admire more.
It's malarkey, no way.
I'm proud to be a part of it. Sometimes it makes me cry.
They cast the real Bill Garnier so well, he looks so similar.
After the war was over and he came back out, well, you lost a lot of that.
It's such a good thing that these soldiers were still alive when this was made. They must have been so proud of the finished product.
Grandpa, were you a hero in the war? Grandpa said no, but I served in a company of heroes.
That's a very cool way of putting it. Okay, and that was episode 10 of Band of Brothers, the finale, points, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, Band of Brothers, points, what did I think of that? Just a great finish to an excellent little mini-series. We definitely were winding down this episode. We didn't even see these guerrilla SS officers they were talking about. And to be honest, I'm kind of happy we didn't. We'd seen enough bloodshed at this point that we deserved an episode like this, just as a little bookend to what was a horrific series. The cinematography and sets throughout were absolutely beautiful. Say what you want about the Nazis, but they definitely had great taste in where to build things, because oh my god, that mansion and that the Eagle's Nest they called it, they were all incredible. It's like the house of most people's dreams. And I guess the thing that surprised me most this episode was it actually focused on a few soldiers kinda going rogue this episode, from that one guy who shot the German who didn't give him fuel, but then turned around and shot a British officer, and then shot his own American officer in the head as well. Like, what the fuck was going on in that guy's head? That is just straight up psychosis. And then we also followed the translator taking his little journey out to the farmhouse with what he believed was an SS officer and just having him shot in the back. Very grey area if you ask me, because the way I see it, if a commanding officer didn't give that order, then all these guys should be interrogated and questioned, not just aimlessly shot. It makes you as inhuman human as you perceive your enemy to be. But yeah, considering what we were watching, it was a pretty much happily ever after finish to the show. Yes, lives were lost, but a lot of the main cast we were following ended the show on quite happy terms and went back to normal lives in America after the war ended. And the first thing I'm going to do now I've watched this whole series is check what the budget is, because I've just found this incredible as far as production value goes. Sets, locations, acting, filming, editing, absolutely all of the highest order. And to this day, I've seen things with like $200 million budgets which do not touch the quality of this show. That is incredibly impressive and a testament to what they were able to achieve throughout this miniseries. Now, I am aware there is a sequel, The Pacific. As you guys know, I'm not like a deep war film loving type of guy, so I probably will have a little break in between this and The Pacific, but it all goes down to the Patreon poll, so if that's what wins on Patreon, then that's what's gonna be next. Regardless, just much respect to the writers, Tom Hanks, Steven Spielberg, everybody involved. They knocked it out of the park with this series, and there's a reason why it's so highly regarded to this day. Even recently, actually, just after I started reacting to this, funnily enough, it got put back up on Netflix, and I've seen loads of articles recently as to why it's still so great, etc. Which was a complete freak accident, because I had no idea this was coming back on Netflix and anything. Just a strange coincidence, but also shows how much gravity it holds to this day. And I know it's 2023 and all these guys have since passed away by now, but man, they must have been absolutely delighted watching this show back in the day. I bet it made all the surviving members at Easy Company so proud. And I hope all my new viewers through this Band of Brothers series stick with this channel and enjoy what I'm going to be reacting to next week, which as of this moment I still don't know because the poll is currently live on Patreon. But if you've liked this video, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron, it helps me and the channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA, peace.